topic is delegate. And how you will be achieving the asynchronous pattern by the delegate. So we have 4 types of pattern for achieving asynchronous call using delegate. Then we can do same job by task parallel library. It's called task class. So first is and invoke pattern. And invoke pattern. Second is calling pattern. Third is wait handle pattern. And fourth is callback. And after doing this kind of pattern, you move to JavaScript framework. You will feel so easy and so comfort as what is promised, what is observable. You will feel so comfort. So callback. Only you have to change the syntax moving from C# to Java. Callback. Callback pattern. Wait handle pattern. Calling pattern. So asynchronous programming we can do by delegate by 4 ways. And invoke, calling, wait handle pattern, and callback pattern. So Sandeep, what is end invoke pattern? First of all, give me your requirement what you want as a case study. So my case study is I'm having the class, okay, class employee service, and close the class. This class is having a function is get employee details. And we have multiple functions within this class. But this function is time consuming. The reason is this function communicates to database server for fetching a data. So connecting to network, applying the query at server's end, perform those query at server end, then we will be getting a data. So network is involved, but time is involved, definitely. So to fetch a bulk of records, a function called get employee details. Now, in a background, there is a framework SDK and there is architecture of Sailor. This is my requirement. This is my requirement. I want to perform long-running tasks by 4 ways. When to go for end invoke pattern, when to go for calling pattern, when to go for wait handle pattern, and when to go for callback pattern. And this pattern will definitely help you for learning JavaScript, the promises, observer, something. Fine. Now, at this point, we have Sailor, runtime environment. CLR inject 2 functions to delegate class. So don't ever try to say in an interview, begin invoke and end invoke is a function of delegate class. Please, begin invoke or end invoke is not a function of delegate class. Scalar is having two major functions, one called begin invoke and end invoke, and Scalar inject these two functions in delegate class. Okay. The Scalar is injecting these two functions in delegate class. So begin invoke, I'm writing short, and second end invoke. These two functions, begin invoke and end invoke. And we have the class is called delegate class. This is my requirement. This is my requirement. This is basically pattern. We need to go for getting a solution or finding a base solution. Now we have to go for which pattern. And begin invoke and end invoke is basically a function of your Scalar. And Scalar inject these two functions in delegate class. Fine. And Scalar and delegate is a abstract class. Neither or not, we can't make an object of this class, and we can't make a subclass of this class. As exceptional case, where delegate mark as abstract, we can't have a subclass of this class. It's a very exceptional case. Exceptional case. Now come back. So you see background walking, and internally the multicast delegate inheriting from the delegate class internally. It's also abstract. It's also abstract. It's also abstract. So what I want to get these two features, these two functions feature in my program. It's not possible. This is the cause I do apply delegation model. It's called delegate. Okay. So delegate is a delegation model between your requirement, your application, app, and the Scalar in the background. Okay. Got it. The extreme left is called pattern, which gives a solution. Middle is basically my requirement. I'm having a long running function. Right is architecture of Scalar. So begin invoke and end invoke is basically function of Scalar, and these two functions will be injecting a class called delegate, right? And delegate class is having a derived class called multicast delegate, and both mark as abstract. And even though we can't make a derived class of this class as exceptional case, and delegate, a small delegate is a delegation model between your requirement or C# class and the begin invoke of Scalar, injecting these two methods in your delegate class. Fine. And left is pattern. So when to go for end invoke, when to go for call. And this four pattern helps for asynchronous programming. Asynchronous programming. Fine. And you have the main. So when you now, which function assembly we want to call? So I want to call a function, and this function definitely returns as a I enumerable of I employee. So I have made one model class. They have defined all the properties against to my database table as employee ID, as employee name. So I've taken the class employee as a model. The, look at the function signature, get employee details. Function returns as IEnumerable of employee type. So I've taken some code of Dapper or Radio.NET or Entity Framework to communicate to database server, at this point, database server for fetching the records. Now, delegate type says, definitely I will help you for providing these two methods, begin invoke and end invoke for your program so that you can have separate thread for running this long running task. Okay. But I'm very typical in certain manner. I can provide the thread for your function if you give me function signature. So if you don't give me function signature, I can't provide you the advantage of having the benefit of delegate class. Okay. But these two functions you can't directly access. You can access via the delegate class. Okay. So delegate class is meant for accessing the Scala based function called begin invoke or end invoke. And delegate type says, give me function signature for those method which is long running or time consuming. Yes. So I give my function signature to delegate. I give my function signature to delegate. So on the top, I'm writing the delegate signature. The moment if I'm giving a function signature to delegate, then delegate internally. I can write here IEnumerable. I'm writing short IEnumerable of employee, then your delegate, small delegate, then a delegate name. It's a return type, then delegate, then your delegate name. The moment I'm giving my function signature to delegate, the moment I'm giving the function signature to delegate, then delegate internally convert into the delegate type internally convert into a sealed class, and the sealed class internally inheriting from the multicast delegate, and multicast delegate internally inherit from the delegate class. Then you are supposed to get the begin invoke function and end invoke function. So overall, you have to create an object of sealed class, and the sealed class name is the delegate type name. Okay. So on the top, if we write the return type, then delegate name. That delegate name basically convert into sealed class. So you can write the syntax here. So wait for next class. I'm just giving you to the architectural knowledge. IEnumerable, then it's a return type, then your delegate, small delegate, then your name of the delegate. Or you can write return type after delegate, no problem. So delegate, then your return type, right? Then delegate name. Correct. Can you explain again? So first delegate, no return type. First delegate, then return type, then delegate name. Okay. And that delegate name convert into sealed class. Okay. Look at the whole mathematics, how your front end, how your requirement is connecting to CLR. And in this mathematics, I'm watching the entire screen. One person helping me is called a delegate type. True. So my delegate type convert into sealed class and inheriting from multicast delegate, then to delegate, then I'm supposed to get these two methods, begin invoke or end it. And my question is when to go for end invoke pattern. Now give me some solution. I got your architectural knowledge how a delegate works internally. And later on, I can convert this same program using TPL. It's called task parallel library. It's called asynchronous programming. That's most important. The difference between asynchronous programming by delegate or same programming by the task parallel library. Definitely, we have major difference. Now come. Sir, so finally, the requirement is I want to call the long running function by the separate thread. I don't want to involve the main thread. This is the cause I have gone for architecture of delegate. So he says I support 4 types of uh, asynchronous programming now. So delegate says write the requirement on the top as a signature. So later on, the delegate name convert into send class, then to this, then to this. Now, sir, if we go for using the end invoke pattern for calling my long running function, if we, I'm just giving a solution. If we go for calling the get employee details function using the end invoke pattern, so definitely in a background, separate thread will be generated. And now the new thread will execute my function. Okay, okay. So your new thread will calling will execute your method. How? So don't ask the syntax. Wait for next session. So new thread will call this method. A new thread will execute this method. Okay. So meanwhile, you can perform other tasks because your main thread is empty. I mean, your main thread is not empty. Your main thread is idle. Your main thread is idle. So you can call other functions of the same class by the main thread. So you got 2 threads, one thread for performing your others function and the long running function you have identified running by the separate thread using the begin invoke. Okay, okay. So once you go for creating the instance of sealed class and object dot function, I'm calling the begin invoke function and I'm saying to begin invoke function, generate a separate thread for executing this function. I got your point. So what's basically some of the problem with the end invoke and tell me the advantage of end invoke. I just given the advantage, sir. Now end invoke is generating a separate thread by the begin invoke function. And that new thread is executing my function. And meanwhile, my main thread as an idle thread, they can go for calling the other function, which gives me an impression of a parallel execution or asynchronous programming. But limitation is somehow, somewhere, internally, my main is blocked. How? Sir, suppose this function takes a 4 second to perform the task. True? Sir, this function takes 4 seconds to perform the task. Okay. And main is also a thread. I said yes. And this thread is executing my other function of same class. Now it takes, suppose, 2 seconds. No problem. The problem is there. The problem is next 2 seconds, this function and this function by separate thread are running parallel. But what about after that next 2 seconds? Because my work is over. My main thread task is over. And this function will take next 2 seconds more. Next 2 seconds more. So now my thread has to wait. My main thread will has to wait. My main thread will wait for next 2 seconds. So in this case, if you look at mathematics, I'm achieving parallel execution only for next 2 seconds, starting from 0, and after onward, I have to wait. Who will wait? Main will wait for next 2 seconds. So 4 minus 2, so it's a parallel, and after next 2 seconds, the main is blocked. Okay, okay. So end invoke pattern will definitely generate a separate thread to execute your long running task. And meanwhile, the main thread is free. You can assign others work to your main thread so that this gives you a feel of asynchronous. It's called parallel execution. But this is good. Completed the task and your the separate thread which is running your background, running your long running function, that takes much and more time. So main thread is blocked. Main thread is blocked. Okay, okay. First issue, main thread is blocked. Good. I got your point. Point is, second case study, Sandeep, chalo. This function takes 9 seconds. Yes, sir. Or main thread is executing any other function that takes suppose 8 seconds. Now you are happy? Only 1 second gap is there in between? I said yes. So your main thread will be blocked for only 1 second? I said yes. So for next 8 seconds, both are running parallel? I said yes. Happy? So no. Even though for why 1 second, for next 1 second, a main is blocked. Second reason is, if that thread executive function, if that thread executive function and my main thread has done the task in 8 seconds and your thread is performing the task for next 9 seconds. I am blocked for only 1 second. True? Yes. Can you notify to me what is the cause of block? If you delay for your work, can you notify to me? Have patience, please. Have patience, please. No. Why? Because the new thread created by the begin invoke function, they will execute your function background, and if main thread has done the job before the new thread, I can't notify to main thread. So one thing is there. First of all, you blocked me for 1 second. I was silent. But can't you notify to me within 1 second what is the cause? Have patience, please. Something like, no. I will not notify to you anything. Anything. I will not notify to you. It means the end invoke pattern is based on fire and forget. Fire and forget. Fire and forget. Okay. Call me, do your task. When my task will be completed, I will give you a result. But if I'm basically late for any cause, I can't notify to you. Okay. So Sandeep sir, in which kind of situation I prefer to go for end invoke pattern, because I want a notification when you are basically blocked to main thread for 1 second. Sorry, I can't notify notification. I can't do any kind of notification to the main thread. What is the cause of delay? But sir, I just wanted to know in which situation you want to go for end invoke. If you want to perform any background task and you don't want to notify to the foreground task or to the main task. Is called log. Maintain the log. So exception comes and they maintain the log in a background. Second, in a spy software, a spy, like as a keylogger software, keylogger, they record your activities in a background. You take my laptop, I install suppose their keylogger, I install their keylogger. So they maintain they monitoring the users activities in a background, they're monitoring, they're recording, and they don't notify to user level what is going on in a background. It's spy software. They're monitoring. You open the Google, you open the Yahoo, you enter the password, they are just tracking everything for you. But they don't notify to you. They don't notify. They do activity in a background. Okay. So when you get a chance in a project level, when you want to go for maintaining the log in a background, you don't want to notify to user, it's called fire and forget. This kind of activity you want to go with the end invoke pattern. But today's world, we have inbuilt softwares, we have inbuilt package, it's called loggers package in .core add package. You install the package, you start working, but you never know what is the working of those packages for you. You just plug and play. Okay. So end invoke pattern will be applied when you have any long running function and you're executing that function from the new thread made by the begin invoke function. So that thread is basically definitely will execute your task in a background. So main is free. So you can meanwhile you can execute other function by the main thread. But if you want to get any kind of notification from that thread, is not possible. Okay. It's said to be fire and forget, right? So an area of use, if you want to go for key logger software as a spy software, they're monitoring your process in a background and they don't notify. As a challan system nowadays, you take your scooty or car or bike, move on a network, cross the speed for limit 90 or 100 plus. Now wait for a few seconds, not few seconds, few days, few hours. You're getting a challan at your house. Don't bother for that. They do not notify you. So now, okay. So finally, end invoke is basically a blocking pattern. Yes, it's a blocking pattern when your thread is taking much and more time compared to your main thread. So they have blocked the main thread, and the second limitation is they don't notify during the blocking time. Okay, I got your point. So advantage, definitely we have advantage because you are getting a separate thread to perform the task, but they block somehow somewhere your main thread, and they don't notify during the time you're blocked. What is the cause of a block? They don't notify anything to you. Silent. If you knock someone, not getting any response. So go for next. Second, write a code. Sorry, wait for next session. Polling pattern. Polling pattern says compared to end invoke, I can give you one more feature compared to end invoke. But still I'm basically blocked. Because I have given the case study to you. My thread takes 8 seconds and your thread function takes 9 seconds or 10 seconds. So for next 2 seconds, I'm totally off what is going on in the background. There is no notification at all. So now in case of end invoke pattern, they start notifying to you. They start notification to you. Okay. So at least in case of end invoke pattern, they start notifying to you, patience please, as we install any software. Okay. So it makes application live. If you go for polling pattern, it makes application live and it describes the cause why I'm getting delay. Have patience, please. Connecting to network. Connecting to network. Recall those days you insert a CD diskette, you're getting a massive. Have patience, please. It's rising. Finally, it's raised or disk error. Okay. So in case of notification, if you want to go for any kind of notification to user level, I prefer to go for I prefer to go for polling pattern. Okay. So in case of any, if you want to go for any kind of notification, we prefer to go for a polling pattern. So can you give me any example for polling pattern installation? Installation is the best example. Installation. There is a progress bar. You're getting a consistently a notification to user level. So still I'm blocked, but I'm getting the reason why I'm blocked. So have patience, please. I'm coming. So this kind of activity you wanna go for notification to user level. I prefer to go for polling pattern. Still you are blocked. Don't forget. So a spy kind of software, log maintenance kind of software or package, they must be following internally and invoke pattern. They don't notify to user, right? Or polling pattern, Sandeep said, in case of polling, at least they start notifying to you the message, and the installation of any software is the best example of your end invoke pattern. Uploading of any image or file, and then you get a message uploaded, something like. Got it.